Next, we have literal equations. So these are the same thing as solving other equations, except we have a bunch of variables instead of just one. But for every one, it will tell you which variable they want you to solve for. So for this first one, we have solve for m. So we want to get that m completely by itself, which means I need to get rid of the x and the b here. I'm going to rewrite this equation so it's easier to see. So y equals mx plus b. So this m right here needs to stay there, and everything else needs to go away. So the first step, we don't have parentheses. Second, we don't have any like terms. Third, all the variables, there's not more than one m, and we're treating that like our only variable, so we're done with step 3. Step 4 was add and subtract. So we're going to add and subtract before we multiply and divide, or else we may get the wrong answer. So since I have plus b right here, I'm just going to subtract b. Now since y and b are not like terms, we can't combine those, so all we have to do is write y minus b, and that equals mx. Since there's nothing else to add or subtract on this side, we're going to move on to multiplying and dividing. Now again, I want to keep this m here, but I need to get rid of the x. Since it's m times x, I have to do the inverse operation of multiplication, which is division. So I'm going to divide this whole side by x, and then divide this whole side by x. So those x's cancel out, and I'm left with y minus b divided by x equals m. And that's our final answer. For 16, it's going to be the same thing, except we're solving for w here. So I'm going to get that w completely by itself. So I have v equals L times w times h. So my goal here is to get rid of the L and get rid of the h. Since this is multiplication, again we're going to have to divide. So first I'll get rid of the L. So I divide both sides by L. But I also need to get rid of this h by division, so I can just divide by h along with it. So the L and the h will cancel out, which means our final answer here is v divided by L times h equals w. And that's all there is to literal equations.